Hey, what is up, guys, and welcome back to Predatory Exotics. So, we are in Turkey, a new country, new location, which means new reptiles.
And new continent.
Yes, oh yeah,
He
true
always
actually,
forgets.
yeah.
We are in technically Asia. Part of Turkey is in Europe, part of it is Asia. It is the kind of border between the two. So that means there's some really interesting species we can find. It means it's also got European influence with some of the reptiles. It's also got some Asian influence as well. So it's a really good mix. And where we are, we've come up to the Anatolian region, specifically Antalya, and where we have actually gone is kind of this crossroads. There's a split between the two. So if we go east, we can find certain species, and then if we go west, we can find some different ones.
So, we are here for the longest period that we've actually done, 7 days. 7 full days we will be here. Basically, we're arriving super early on the Monday, and we're leaving super late on the Sunday.
And that is because we have the most species we have ever been able to find in this location. There's over 50 different species of reptiles and amphibians we can find, and that is just the species. If you include the subspecies as well, we're looking at over 60 different species.
So we've got plenty of reptiles to find, so let's get into it and start the herping.
Whoop whoop!
Oh, I spotted it. It is your find though, technically.
That is my find. I looked at the ants, looked over, shining like an absolute gem.
Oh wait, yeah, there you
Oh.
go. And it's a little baby.
Okay. We're good at finding baby chameleons.
Well, it's your catch, sir. In hand it goes.
Sorry, my guy, to wake you up. That is beautiful coloration as well.
So this is the first catch we have on our Turkey trip, and it is one of our target species. It is the common chameleon, and you probably think, oh, it's just the common chameleon. You guys have caught that before. We caught them in Spain, but that was actually the nominate species, so cameleo, chameleon, chameleon, and you find those in the southern Iberian Peninsula and also in North Africa, in areas like Morocco, Tunisia, areas like that. But this is actually a separate one. There's 4 different subspecies of the common chameleon. That one we just mentioned, you also find one that's in the Arabian Peninsula, one that is on the border between Egypt and the Middle East, so a very smaller restricted population. And then this is the 4th one that we've got here, which you can find in southern Turkey and also in Cyprus as well. So it's Cameleo, chameleon, recticrista. It's very similar to the other species. This one is just a baby. They can probably get to about 3/4 the size of my hand. If I had to guess, this one, it's a little bit skinny. It probably is a baby from last year, maybe struggled over the winter slightly, and in the spring hopefully it bulks up and puts on some weight. But a really awesome species. Another one of the ones that you can find throughout Europe, the Mediterranean and the Middle East. So a really widespread and successful species of chameleon. So you might notice this little guy is actually doing a bit of a threat pose at the moment. What chameleons will actually do is puff up their body and face sideways onto whatever they think is a predator to appear as large as they can. You also notice they puff out their throat as well to appear larger. Obviously this little guy is only small, so it's not that impressive. It doesn't scare anyone off that much, but he's a really awesome little guy. These aren't as impressive as some of the other chameleons you might find in the pet trade, like the veiled chameleons, that they have the really big casque. You can see he's got a very small casque on the top of his head. But I think they should be really popular in the pet trade because the common chameleon is actually really hardy. Obviously, it's from mostly Europe, as well as parts of Asia and North Africa. So it's used to some colder weather and then some harsh winters as well. So they'd be really well adapted to actually keep in your home in the UK. So it's really slept upon species that I wish was kept more often.
Bum, ba-dum, ba-dum. Bum, bum. Do some log rolling. Are you ready? Yes, there. That's a skink. You got it?
Yeah.
Yes.
Did not think we would catch this in the night time, but
Well, I mean,
they got to sleep somewhere.
They got to sleep somewhere.
So guys, we have got our second reptile of the trip. I was not expecting to catch this species during the night because they are pretty much a diurnal species. They take advantage of the really hot days that we have here in Turkey. But this is an oscillated skink, so Chalcides oscillatus, and they're actually very closely to a species we have at home, which is the wedge-snouted skink. They're in the same genus. They're both in the Chalcides genus, and they're effectively kind of like sand swimmers, sandfish, and they're going to be underneath the sand, swimming through, catching small grubs, and then as the beetles agitate the surface, they're going to grab them and come up out of the ground, a bit like something out of a horror movie. But they're a really cool species.
Is it weird to say that they have knees? Our ones doesn't have knees.
Yeah, our one's I guess you could say devolved even more and has even smaller legs than the oscillated skink. This one is still pretty skinky, pretty lizard-like, but they're very streamlined as well. They're obviously named oscillated skink after all of those sort of eyes, the oscillated sections that they have along their body. But they're perfectly adapted for their fossorial lifestyle of swimming through the sand. So they're a really cool species, and something you can occasionally get in the UK hobby, and something that I think should be more popular, even though they are fossorial and they are a little bit difficult to find. But they have a really wide distribution. It's probably why I found them in now Turkey, Greece, and also in Cyprus as well. So they're quite widely distributed across the southeastern Mediterranean, into North Africa and the Middle East as well. Basically anywhere that's nice, hot, arid, dry, and got a nice lot of sand for them to live in. A really well adapted species, and something that I really love.
Fun fact, these guys, well, this one's a sub-adult, so not fully an adult yet, but these guys will actually give live birth, like most skinks, but not like most reptiles. More like a mammal.
Hopefully we get to see him do his little fossorial. Oh, slinking away under his log for the night.
And there he goes. Nice, that is 2 species.
2 for 2.
Go. Oh my god. You got both of them? You got them?
Oh my god, I've got both of them.
Oh my god.
Jeez,
Are
no
you
way.
kidding me? So basically, yeah, we filmed the skink here and we were like, whilst we've got everything out, let's flip that one. Toads?
Oh, they're
Toads? Baby toads?
European green toads, same species we have at home. I'm going to put them in the net just for a second while we get our gloves.
Oh my god. And 2.
Yeah,
Like,
that's
2
mental.
is insane. I also thought that pine cone was one. And I was like, is that the adult with the babies? That's so cool. Because we've never seen toads that size.
Yeah, baby toads.
Baby toads
they're
is nuts.
so cute.
And literally, the log, it's the same log split in half.
Literally. I mean, you
And
do
it's
say
had
logs.
2
You say logs are better, so.
I do say logs are better, that is true.
So guys, here we have our European green toads. So we've got 2, the twin toads, and they're actually European green toads. So the Latin name for these is Buphotes viridis. So it's not bufo like the other common toads. It's Buphotes or Buphotes, depending on what you want to call it, and viridis, which is basically represents their green coloration. And it's a European and inter-Asia species, and it's really special for us because we actually keep these at home. I have a European green toad who's a nice adult, and they're really awesome species, really underrated species, and they're actually super tolerant of the different temperatures that you get, mostly because they can deal with a lot of cold temperatures, but also the really hot temperatures as well. So they can deal with the 40-degree temperatures during the day, and then really cold temperatures where they'll brumate during the winter. So these are probably babies from last year. They've had their little brumation, their little hibernation, and they've come out and started to eat some bugs during the warmer nights here in Turkey. So it's a really awesome species, really underrated, and they're very cute at this size as well. So they're really wide distributed. So they're obviously called the European green toad, but you can find them in a lot of places in Europe, as well as down into the Middle East as well. Really hardy species, and a lot of people actually keep them outside in the UK. The one we keep at home, keep it in a nice warm reptile room, but a lot of people in the UK keep them in sort of greenhouses, areas like that, and a really adaptive, really awesome species.
So guys, we're going to release our baby European green toads, the Buphotes viridis, back under here so they can catch hopefully some nice little crickets and stuff that are in this sort of rotting log. I'll turn him round just so he has a good chance of getting back under that. But an awesome find, and yeah, 3 for 3 on species, a nice little amphibian for the nighttime herping.
I'm surprised we've seen no geckos with these stuff.
Yeah, I know, right? Oh, there's a skink there.
Oh, that's a different species.
Oh my god. Okay, I'm gonna let you get it because I've got the torch on it. boom,
Got it.
boom, boom,
Yes!
boom, 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 boom.
I didn't put my thing on.
Oh, mine was on, don't worry, mine was on the whole time.
Yeah.
But as an FYI, that right there, over there,
Oh.
those are the logs that we just did this.
Bro.
Ooh, so what's is a different one?
Yep, so I'm going to double check. I know it's Hermites genus, but there's two species. There's Hermites auratus and Hermites vitatus. If I have a look, I think it's vitatus because of the stripes, but I'm going to quickly have a look and we'll double check. So guys, after just a double check, we have actually confirmed that this is Hermites vitatus. So you can tell that because of the lines along its body. It is very squirmy, unfortunately, but there's two species in that genus here in the southern part of Turkey. You've got Hermites vitatus, which is this one with the beautiful lines on it, and then auratus that has lines that are the opposite way. So they look very similar, a little bit hard to tell the difference, but these guys are from southern Turkey into the Middle East and also a bit of North Africa as well. The common name is a bit weird. They're actually called mabuyas, which is a bit strange, and this one's called the bridled mabuya. So it's a bit of a strange name, but it is another type of skink. So you can see all those smooth scales, quite small legs, they are a lot more terrestrial than something like the skink that we caught last time, the oscillated skink. These ones will run along the ground looking for different types of bugs, and especially in those big logs looking for beetles and termites and grubs and things like that. So a really awesome species and a really long tail as well.
It's every time, dude, you're going further up my hand. There we go. Dude, if you want to go that way. There we go. Under that log. And that is 4 species. And it's day 1. It's night one. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are at our first
Daytime location?
Yeah, daytime location, which is actually an ancient ruin, which is like a national park sort of esque place. So we paid to get in, but as you can see, lots of rocks, lots of locations.
I think it will open up, and there's a few different areas, so hopefully there's some stuff. There's a lot of tortoise sightings up here, and there's apparently a big basin somewhere which could have some breeding toads and things like that, so hopefully we'll see some stuff that is cool.
There.
Oh, that's it.
What do you mean that's it?
The Baron's rock lizard.
Oh my god, okay. I'm gonna need to get my net out. You have a go.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my god. I was recording too. Okay.
Bro.
I think that's the first like weight poke one we've done. Damn, look at his tail.
It's so long.
All right.
Bro, we've got him. After
First
searching. Cheeky Baron's rock lizard.
We've
Anatolo.
seen so many of these.
Anatolo Lerta Ibrahimi. Right, let's get the camera out and get some awesome pics and tell you more about this awesome species. Come on, guys. We've got our first lizard that isn't a skink. Is that right in saying? Caught 2 skinks yesterday.
Yes. Yeah.
And it is a quick one. So this is Anatolo Lerta Ibrahimi. So there's actually a couple of different Anatolo Lertas we might find during this trip. We're hoping we find another one because this one is actually distributed north of Antalya where we are. And it stretches back down to the coast, but over to the east. Hopefully in another location when we go to Mangavat, you can find them there. But later on in the trip, we're going to be going down the west side of the Lycian Way, and that side, it's actually a different species. That's Anatolo Lerta finicensis. So hopefully we find that as well. But this is a really awesome find. We'll get some as best close-ups as we can, because he's very quick. But the orange on it is super cool.
Orange is super cool.
Orange is super cool. Maybe that means it's a male. Usually the males are slightly better coloured.
And it's an Anatolo Lerta, so a micro Lacerta species that you found in the Anatolian region, which is effectively Turkey. They're a lot like the Asian version of a European wall lizard, and they fill the same ecological niche. And as a rock lizard,
Very hard to catch.
and also loves rocks with lots of cracks in. Luckily, this one was in a crack, but it wasn't too deep, so we managed to get it out. So really awesome species that we've actually managed to catch, and also it means we've kept up our 100% catch rate so far.
Because this is probably number 5 or 6 we've seen. Yeah,
7,
that's actually been in this location. We actually did see this one, didn't catch it, went off, came back to this square, and then he was there again. So we managed to get it, but definitely a cool catch, and I'm glad it's ticked off because those things are such a pain.
very quick.
Fun fact, these guys actually just used to be classified as basically just one thing, like with all the other species, but now they've all split into their subspecies. So it's basically, dated back a bit more, you would have caught it and been saying this is the same thing we caught like somewhere else. So it's really cool that they're now split into their subspecies.
The big bush on the wall
Yeah,
to the left.
yeah, gotcha. Mate.
I was like, is that just a dark crack? There's also 2, by the way. One went in the crack.
Oh, there he is.
Damn. Oh, damn, where's that gone?
How did you see this?
It suddenly, like, well, obviously, like, you see how it's moving.
Yeah.
Like, I was just looking generally, and I was like, well, that's clearly an abnormal movement.
Right, it's a snake-eyed skink.
Oh, sweet.
We caught Ablepharus. Was it Budaki, the one we caught, or Ablepharus? No, Ablepharus Kittabelli.
Kittabella, yeah.
We bought.
Yeah, we bought it.
We saw
We
it
bought it and planted it out there.
in Greece, but this is a different one. And we'll talk about it a bit more in detail in a second because it's actually disputed which species this is. But in my opinion, it is actually the Anatolicus one, not the one that other people say it is.
So, yeah, sorry, I didn't have mine on for this catch because it was a bit sudden. I saw it. We were walking back. We were walking back to the car.
Yeah, we basically just said, oh, we've caught one thing, let's not get disheartened. And then we've got another species. So it's going to be very hard for me to show you on the camera. I mean, it's so tiny you won't see it anyway.
I'll chuck a picture. We got a really nice picture of it.
And we'll try and do some B-roll afterwards as well. But this is Ablepharus Anatolicus. So if you read some of the literature, if you read some of the iNaturalist sightings, they'll actually say it's the European copper skink, which we caught in Greece.
Yes.
Which was very cool.
Was that the Kittabelli?
Kittabelli. But this one is actually a different species. So obviously, as the name Anatolicus suggests, it is from the Anatolian region, and you can find it around the coast of where we are, around the Lycian Peninsula areas like that. I mean, if you had both in captivity, you wouldn't tell the difference.
Yeah.
It's very hard to tell the difference. I mean, I wouldn't be able to tell the difference other than where we got it. But it's an awesome little species, just a baby one. But another one to tick off of the list, and another in hand. So currently, as it stands, something's in that bush.
Oh my god, yeah. That's like a pretty big movement.
You
You want me to have a look? You keep doing the video.
As it stands, we're 6 out of 7 in hand, which is very, very impressive. But we're just going to have a look in this bush, because I feel like it might be a cheeky green lizard.
Oh, it's alive.
It's alive?
We've got one.
Oh my god.
We've actually got one.
Dude, okay, so for anyone, obviously now you're tuning in, me and Tom have been here for a little while. This is like this really gross swamp, and we've seen turtles swimming around in here. And I just suddenly looked at one that like I thought was a shell. It didn't look like it was moving, and it was one. And
We got one.
we got it.
So this is the Mormis Rivulata. We've missed out on this before, and I mean I reckon this is just hatched, by the way. It's still soft on
Maybe
the bottom.
that's why it didn't run.
Maybe it's literally just got in the water. But yeah. Oh,
Damn.
I mean, there's a reason why I got gloves on. You can see how disgusting the water is. Like, this is literally, yeah, pretty disgusting. But a baby Mormis Rivulata. Yes, let's go.
I'm so surprised because I was like, I think that's why.
I don't even know how they're surviving in here, to be honest.
So guys, we have finally got it. We haven't been searching too long here, but I mean, this goes way back to Greece when we looked for Mormis Rivulata, which is the Western Caspian turtle, or sometimes called the Balkan terrapin as well, and it is a terrapin species, at least what we call terrapins in the UK. But they're actually a pretty widely distributed species that is actually from all the way from Greece all the way across that sort of bridge between Europe and Asia, all through Turkey. And then down the Arabian Peninsula actually, and you can also find them in Cyprus. So pretty widely distributed species, and they're super good at surviving, as the sort of disgusting lake behind me shows. But this one, I would guess at the size it would be a baby from last year, but it's actually still got a soft belly. So this plastron underneath, usually with turtles, because they're born in spherical eggs, spheres, they're not usual turtle shape, they're not oblong, so when they come out they're a bit folded over, and they still have the yolk sac attached. So as they stretch out and that gets absorbed into them, that plastron is still a little bit soft. So it's probably actually from this year. So it's a really cool find. They've got really nice stripy patterns along their sort of neck folds and their feet as well. So it's really cool. We've seen a few different sizes here, but I haven't seen any as big as the ones in Greece.
No, yeah, I do agree.
So if they are here and they're breeding, maybe they're stunted, because it is a little bit disgusting and yucky. And when I bring it this close to my face, it is a little bit stinky.
For a little bit longer to see
Yes.
if we can maybe get a different size one.
Because I thought originally we were like, oh, do we count this? We've seen it, but can we identify it? Because realistically, it could just be someone's dumped some terrapins. As you know from previous videos, red-eared sliders, you can find them across pretty much most places in the world, because they are really invasive. But this one we can catch and fully identify as Mormis Rivulata, the Western Caspian turtle.
So guys, we're going to release our Western Caspian turtle, which is really cool. Just a fun fact, actually, while we put it back, they're actually really voracious eaters, and they eat pretty much everything, whether that's crustaceans, fish, and also they'll actually carcass feed stuff as well, which is
the most in here.
Which is the most likely thing, because literally we tried to go upstream, when I say upstream in quotation marks, because it's basically just like a sewage runoff, I think. Luckily we haven't touched this with our bare hands or anything like that. I do feel really sorry for it actually. I'd actually really rather relocate it to actual clean river, but unfortunately we don't have the capabilities to do that. So we're going to release it back into here, and hopefully we see it swim away. Should we put him there, watch him go in. Off he goes under the water.
Did you get it? How? How? Yes! Oh my god, I got you doing that!